Hi, everyone. I want to check in. I'm starting a little bit early, in part because this is the first time I've pre-announced that I'm coming on, and I didn't know how to make everything go, so I was hoping I got it right. And thank you, thank you, thank you, those of you who are joining me. So this is, for me, something, oh, you know what I'm going to say, right? Do we have a visitor? Oh my goodness. Hang on, everybody. Here we go. Here she is. Okay. Nika Winter, the Pomsky, wants to join us. Okay, so here she is. Okay, hi, everyone. I'm Susan Winter. If you're just tuning into this, I am a best-selling author and a relationship expert, and I am committed to doing this on a weekly basis for all of you. Why not? Let's chat. There's a lot going on. I want to address in these weekly live talks with you the most pertinent things that are going on in our current time period. So we are all under quarantine here. I've been in my house since about March 9th. The gyms have been closed. Hi, everybody. I want to say hi. And I know that that impacts how we feel about life, how we feel about ourselves. Maybe some of you have had somebody you know personally who has passed or is sick. But I have decided that I would continue my discussions. During the week, I will be continuing to put out normal material about relationships and dating and concerns that you may have, because I think that's important. We are still living our lives. We are still dating. We're still meeting people. But each week I have found a topic that I really wanted to cover that is specific to the coronavirus. And thank you all for coming on board. This one is the rise of the Exes. Now, you might have noticed that this time of being sequestered is a time of self-reflection. And there are people that can become even more obsessed about an ex because there's so little distraction. They're left in their home with Netflix or whatever, a computer. And so you start to ruminate. I have noticed with my friends and with my clients that there is this resurgence of the ex. And I'm talking about exes you never thought you'd hear from. So I'm going to start with my girlfriend who is happily engaged. She, out of the blue, hears from a guy. She closed every portal to him. When it didn't work out, it didn't work out. She closed every portal, and out of the blue, on LinkedIn, he's like, hi, just want to check in and see how you're doing. It's one of those, tiptoe on the ice. And she said, hi, how are you? Because they didn't work out. She liked him very much. And then he went on to get engaged to somebody else after he'd said to her he wasn't ready. So that was kind of a wound. She's so happy now. Things turned out the way they should. But she said, out of all the people in the world, I never thought I'd hear from him. So today's discussion is, and bear with Susie while she tries to read all this stuff. Today's discussion is, wait, I'm going to moderate some of this stuff. Okay. There are three types of contact from exes, okay? There are those, hi, Victoria. Hi, how are you doing? There are exes that are checking in because it ended, you're fairly amicable, and they're actually concerned. There's the good contact. There is the dubious contact. What do they want? Why are they coming back now? And then there's the neutral contact, human to human. So you guys know that I have very few rules. And as far as dating goes, I don't make concrete rules. I always have you decide how things feel for you. You are going to be your own barometer, not what the latest article said in some magazine and not what your friends told you. How do you feel? So I don't have a thing around no contact. I only have one rule around an absolute no contact. If there has been physical violence, psychological, conscious cruelty, get out, get help, get support, and get as far away from that thing as you can. That is not, there's no conversation happening here, none. But relationships are complicated. And how we handle them, sometimes we don't enter at our best. And sometimes there's lots of confusion and people that liked each other that start the distancing game back and forth. And so they're not sure, maybe there was a missed connection. All of this about whether you contact an ex or do not, respond to them or do not, depends upon one factor only. How will that contact make you feel? And there's two versions. There's in the short run, and then there's in the long run. And for this kind of example, short term, say you like somebody, it didn't work out. You wanted a relationship, they didn't. They kind of played you. They broke your heart. They hurt you. Now they come sniffing around again. They're lonely, they're isolated. Maybe they think you can, break the sequestered thing and hook up for them. Short term, it may feel like, oh, wow, they see my value. Oh my God, they like me. Long term, you'll suffer because you'll take the ride of the attention and then it will be sad for you. So in all of this, we have to ask ourselves, how is this going to make me feel? Now, I know some of you have very strong opinions because I looked in the beginning, and some have had people where they don't want to have any contact with them. There's nothing wrong with this. You make your own decisions according to what happened in that relationship. There are, in my time period, what I come from a different thing. I'm not a millennial, obviously, and exes were exes for a reason. But then there were also those odd cases where it just didn't go right and you never had a chance. Timing was bad or something was misunderstood. So let us consider when an ex reaches out. How do you interpret what's going on? Firstly, start with how you feel. How do you feel about how they were? Because what they did is a part of them. It's not a one-off. How they treated you is how they treated you. How did you treat them? And then think to yourself, is this somebody with whom I should be opening the door? Oftentimes you can just have a polite, I'm glad you're well. I'm fine too. Thank you for asking. But if this is a can of worms, you don't need to have that. So you have to discern what is up with this person. Now, under a positive situation, we might hope that they've come to their senses, that in this time of self-reflection, they've realized that we are wonderful people. Might be a game. So let me read what some of your questions are. And first of all, thank you, Nancy. Mama Mab, thank you. I like class, I don't know what that is. Philomene, thank you for the hearts. Thank you, Helen, for the lovely comments. How do we know? Okay, Tarini asks, how do we know which was genuine though? And I think she's meaning about which person was genuine. If a human being is genuine, they will also be consistent, right? Oh my gosh, you guys, there's a new thing. No, it's not a new thing. I've got to do a video about this, but this love bomb and love drop. And I can't tell you how many people, younger people, okay, have met somebody, they're out. It's like 6 hours of conversation. Oh my God, the connection, oh my God. And then the next day it's late and then they finally sleep together and they think, and then they're texting all the time and they think this is the one. They're thinking like, oh my gosh, I haven't met somebody in so long. This could be it. Then the slow fade. Then my friend is uncomfortable. What happened? I'm going to try and reach out, keep reaching out, then ghosting. So it's like love bomb, evacuate. That's inconsistent. Watch for pace. Were they too hot too soon? That's unsustainable. You are looking for, there's a lot of safety in consistency. Where we get off is when it's like, that's insane. That's that hot and cold ride. So ask yourself, were they consistent? All right, Lorraine says she found that second chances never work out. Some people wonder, should I give them a second chance? The only times I have seen these work out is when there was a genuine attempt on both people's part that they wanted partnership, and there was a misunderstanding or an external event that caused a separation. I've known couples that broke up and got married years later. But there was time and space in between, and whatever that event or situation was finally answered and addressed. It's the relationships that are really hard to deal with are those that never had closure. You never called it what they did wrong. You never said it. You never talked about it. It just kind of, you were dating, and then now suddenly you're in this weird thing of not dating. So you're not together, but you never are officially broken up. And it's those loose ends make it very hard to start again, because how can you start something new when the last thing hasn't finished? So that's my only reason for, even if you've had a cycle with a partner and you want to end it, I really like having a sense of closure, even if it's you that has to call it. You can feel them backing away. I like to have people call and say, I really enjoyed seeing you. I wished it would have lasted longer, but it hurt me. But I actually enjoyed your sense of humor. I enjoyed the fact that we went for a bike ride in the country, and you did some very nice things. Best wishes. I like to have clear endings allow for a new, fresh beginning. So let me see what else. It's been 5 months. Okay, so okay, I got to slow down here. Okay, so Jeff writes, it's been 5 months since she left me for someone else, but we still talk almost daily. Yet she's still hesitant on meeting up or hanging out. Advice. Well, she's kind of sloppy, isn't it? I mean, she broke up with you and now she wants to have you as a friend. If you feel no romantic emotion to her whatsoever, be a buddy. But that normally doesn't die down that quickly. I don't think you guys can be friends until both people no longer have that sexual charge. As long as one partner is yearning and wanting for more, and Jeff, in this case, it seems like you would like to hang out with her. Perhaps that's because you're hoping she'll change her mind. But I think you're hurting yourself. See, this is short-term game, long-term pain. So in the brief moments of contact, there's probably, you ask yourself, okay? You ask yourself, in these brief moments of contact, do I feel good? And then after the contact, and I realize that she's got somebody else, do I feel disappointed? So the high, does it come with a low? And the low is longer, and then the high is quick because you have contact, then the low is longer. That's not a good cycle to be on. And that's not moving you forward if you still want to date this person. You need to retract your energy as a friend. Say, I really wanted you as a partner. Happy you've got somebody, but I can't do the friend thing, and extract yourself. Now, if I'm reading this wrong and you like her as a friend and you want to hang out, she doesn't feel the same way or she'd hang out with you. Okay? But we can talk privately if you want. Okay. Thank you. Okay, Monica. Okay, Monica writes, I always lead with honesty, but recently found out that the other party was not. He had an excuse for the relationship that I can't change, which is my child. He knew all along. What's the lesson? So okay, forgive me, because I would love to have a two-way conversation here, but my understanding is that the excuse for this man backing out is, can't do a child, right? But the child was there. The child just didn't pop up. So then there are two cases. There are two ways to analyze this. Is it that he sincerely hoped that he could override his natural tendency to not want a child involved, tried with you honestly and sincerely, and realized he can't sign on for the package deal? Is he worried that he doesn't have the financial resources to unite families or to be a solid influence? Does he worry that he's not stable or consistent enough? That's a good guy who got scared off by his own, just like it's too much for him, but there was an honest attempt. Or do you feel that from the get-go, he's like, okay, girl to child, you know what? Maybe she's lonely. I can hook up a little bit. Oh, yeah, I told you I can't do the kid thing. And that's the excuse to leave. So only you can decide which of those two scenarios it is, okay? Okay, so Frida says, how to deal with feelings of jealousy, even though we've been broken up for 3 months. Jealousy comes from, feeling that somebody else got what should have been ours. And it's going to hurt. Nobody wants to feel like they weren't good enough, weren't picked, weren't selected. It's a very human emotion. People downplay it and make it seem bad and wrong, but let's face it, we've all been jealous. And doggies get jealous. You pet a dog in front of your dog. Nika doesn't. She's so confident. Nika's the alpha, the 9-pound alpha everywhere we go. But, for the most part, I think what my guess is that you're thinking, damn, I put all this time and energy into him and she got him. Why? And then you start comparing yourself to her. So sometimes, that's our go-to. Oh, how does he or she match up? And, what am I lacking? What do they have that I don't? And oftentimes it's not going to be visible to you. You're not going to be able to discern what your former partner sees in this other person. It could be that they're convenient. It could be that they do something differently. It could be a mutual hobby. I don't know. But we have to trust the universe to some degree that there is a purposefulness in the people who come and go out of our lives. We don't want to let go of something we deliciously wanted. I know what that's like. So I wrote an article years ago called Lovers and Chicken Bones. And again, it was based on my dog because I watched my sled dog, the big version of Nika, go after chicken bone because in Manhattan, I don't know, taxi cab drivers would throw out their chicken bones on the street. And so, a dog will go right for it. And I kept thinking, I know that's going to, tear up her intestines, but I can't tell her. All she knows is I'm ripping this delicious treat from her mouth. And then I thought, oh my goodness, am I not diva? How many times have I had something delicious? I smell it, I look at it, I just no more than sink my teeth into it. And then some hand, unbeknownst to me, that I don't see, rips it out of my mouth. I'm just mad. I want what I want, and I wanted my treat, and what a cruel world, and how dare you put it in front of me in the first place, only to rip it away. So then I get all huffy with the universe. But then I have to trust, because I can't tell my dog, this would harm you. I got something better at home. It's a real treat. And sometimes the universe can't get it through our head. You think it's wonderful? We took it away for a reason. Trust us. So that's how I try to look at these things. I hope that helps you. Okay, where do we go here? Let's see. I think I'm probably way backed up on your comments. So Stephanie says, not receiving news from an ex who just broke up with me, just when the pandemic started. If I'm not receiving news from him in such dark times, I guess it's time to move on. Well, honey, you said he broke up with you right before the pandemic, right? Or he or she, all right? So, oh yeah, he, okay. So I think I take that pretty seriously. And if you've reached out, but it is kind of, listen, it kind of sucks. Even though you were together, like a polite thing would be to say, I hope you're okay. I'm just checking in. Just human to human. I hope you're okay. But I think I take that as a relationship over thing and let go on your end. Yes, it is time to move on. My Mad says, ex broke up with me 2 days before his 21st birthday, ghosted me, no explanation. Now a month later has apologized to me while I was in no contact during quarantine. Yeah, so 21st birthday, wanted to hang out, play with friends. This is a time where they self-reflect. Now you have to ask yourself, which category does this person go into? Curious and bored? Hoping to reconnect because they're quarantined? Hoping to get something going as soon as the quarantine lifts? Or did they have a time to self-reflect and think, wow, this is a great person, I did something horrible? If this came with a sincere apology, maybe open up the door for discussion. But the person breaks up with you and ghosts you, now wants to talk to you. Is that somebody you want to talk to? People are who they are. If they treat you horrifically the first time, well, you think they're really going to do well the second time? The only case for somebody coming back in being a better person is that they have had a spiritual awakening. They have had a psychological, emotional, spiritual awakening where they have gone, oh my God, I was horrible. What was I thinking? Who was I listening to? That that can require, okay, so tell me. All right. So that's how I'd interpret that. How to determine if he's really serious this time. The fact that you say this time makes me think this has been a loop. Okay. He's back after 15 months. He says he's been reassessing what he needs. Bought a house, wants me to fly to see him. Been here, need a ring. Okay, Mama Mab, it sounds like you know your bottom line. You want a ring, you want something, beware of listen, there's so many messy relationships. People go in and out. I've got a dear friend and his girlfriend just boots him out and back and forth and back and forth. And it's just overreactivity. It's just fear. You've got to assess, you've got to be very clear. If there's something you want and you cannot compromise on that, you say, look, here's my bottom line. Prefer to be with you, want to be with you. My goal is to be married. No in and out, no back and forth, no loop of dating, no hot and cold, no where do I stand. I want a place to sit back and exhale. And if you can give me that, we can talk. Ladies, don't be afraid to talk straight to men. Men understand clear communication. What makes them crazy, is when we meander around the topic, add in 9 things that are extraneous, and then come back and do a passive version of something. They're like, what? Don't tell them generals. Be very, very specific. People aren't that creative. I need this, I need that. I really want this. I really want to be married. I really want sexual exclusivity. Love to have it be you. Crazy about you. I need that. If you're not up for that, I have to leave you. Don't want you to do something you don't want to do, but I want to be with a partner who wants that. So you guys might have noticed my channel is not the one that's going to guide you in great hookups. Well, even those can have context. I am looking to create the foundation so that you can all have a rewarding, meaningful connection, however you choose to create it. You know my term a la carte. Take what you want, create from the menu of all that you have seen, what you'd like to keep, eliminate what you don't want. I don't care if it's a sexual relationship. I don't care if you have an agreement to see each other once a month. I don't care if you want to be married or get engaged, whatever it is that you guys agree on. Make sure that you both agree. Make sure that you have a voice. Have a voice in your own life and your own conversation. Okay, now let's see. Isha, I'm probably way behind the curve. I'm probably 3 inches behind here. How do I let go of being mistreated and humiliation when I did something very wrong, but I know I didn't deserve to be treated like that? I feel abused and fake attached through the pain of this event. Isha, this is a little complicated. So there's a little coding in here that I can't really read through. Everybody in a relationship will hurt their partner at some point of time, and they will hurt us. Being sincerely apologetic and learning what you have done helps. You have to do it in real time and make your apologies. There are some things that are really hard to dial back from. Infidelity is one because it's a betrayal of trust. So if you did something really despicable, before you even try to get back with somebody, I'd ask yourself, what was it in your nature that had to do that? If you can get to that root cause, you won't have to repeat that again. But sometimes people mess up. I've got a client right now who feels that he really messed up. And it keeps you in the loop of staying connected to somebody because you feel that you've messed up, so you don't think that they saw you properly because you had this horrible thing that you did or something you were involved in, and you feel that it's because of that that you lost them. And indeed, that may be the case. And you might have to have that be your bottom of whatever that is. But that should be your key to stop looking at them and start looking at yourself and fix this thing that had you do that. If it was infidelity, if it was alcoholism, if it was gambling, if it was whatever, lying, cheating, stealing, whatever you did, and it's got to be a mortal wound like that. It can't be something like I sent a text message to her friend. I mean, it's got to be something really, really serious. Like that's not good either, but you know what I'm saying? So take a look at your behavior, fix that, And oftentimes, unbeknownst to you, behind the scenes, energetically, somehow that person will find their way back to you. But they can't find their way back to you if you are still actively doing that thing that you did wrong. So there we go. Let's see. I'm probably, let's see. Okay, Sonia writes, lots of chemistry and mutual values. Then his 3 college-age kids had to come back home, and he hasn't reached back out. His wife died in February. Oh, geez, my God. Is that this February? How patient should I be? Or is he just not that into me? Oh, okay, there's a lot going on in this person's life. This is an extreme example, but many of us have had milder examples of this. How patient should I be? That's a very good question in all relationships. You need to see that they are willing and able to have a relationship with you. You've got to be able to discern their willingness, their desire. Do they care enough to contact you? Do they care enough to give you an excuse why? If they give you an excuse why they can't see you, do they tell you that they will make up to you, in the future times? Do they try something else? Listen, even if a person has 3 kids at home and their wife is, but February she died. This person may not be ready to get involved with you. I'd have to work with you personally because there's a lot here. I do my best with these, but there's a lot I can't see. But if somebody's wife just died in February, yeah, I would focus your energy someplace else for right now. Okay, you guys have given me so much stuff that is so good. I can't believe it. I'm so excited here. Okay, let's see. Lisa writes, hi, I'm in a new relationship, 2.5 months, now separated by the quarantine. Any tips for keeping the connection going? Yeah, I just did one of those. I did another live one 2 weeks ago on I just met somebody, will they forgive me? Forget about me. So Lisa, what I suggest is that you proactively stay in contact. You don't always have to get a guy on the phone or get a woman on the phone and chat all day. I don't believe in these 4-hour conversations once a week. I believe in more banter and volley back and forth. I'd send messages, I'd video chat, I'd ask them for a date. Hopefully they'll invite you for a video date. Keep in contact. If you like this person and you started seeing them, let them know and share your day with them. They probably have, unless they're a first responder, they probably got some time for you. Hang in there. This is not going to last forever. It is serious and it is impacting all of us. But, you met somebody, keep the connection, okay? It isn't necessarily a time to start to play traditional boyfriend, girlfriend, male, female roles and be passive. Sometimes it's just the right thing to reach out when you feel that you want to, okay? Let's see. So Jenny writes, how do you handle someone who is hot and cold? Well, you know my feeling about that. Okay, I'm not crazy about that. I never know if they're going to be kind or mean. Should I just take them out of my life? Yes, yes, and yes. Yes, the correct answer. Not worth it. If this is the best you've gotten so far, why would you imagine there's going to be a door that you open and ta-da, they're a wonderful person. If they're hot and cold, they're confused, they're indecisive, they're not choosing you, they don't have the courage to go forward. Why would you start with a partner with no skills for a relationship? Somebody who's decent will say, hey, I really like you. I can't do this right now. I'm not doing this. I don't feel the same thing you feel. They would cut you loose. Hot and cold, they're so selfish. They're so confused and so self-involved, they don't even realize how selfish they are. They just keep you in orbit because, I don't know, I like feeling that people like me and maybe I want to talk to them and maybe I don't. Don't be a victim of their insanity. No. You move on to higher ground, okay? Let's see. How to cope. So Abraxas writes, wait, you guys are so fast. How to cope with being duped via text during isolation, maybe mean dumped, I'm not sure. Especially that it turned out my now ex is quarantining with his ex. Just, honey, or guy, just move on. Just, I don't know. Okay. CW writes, Ex had awakening, apologized while I was in a new relationship, self changes he wanted to make, steps weren't being taken to make. He was treading water. How long do I wait to progress? Okay, so you threw over the new person for the old person that had problems. This will be the last chance, and you need to take them to the mat and say, look, I left a relationship with somebody that actually wanted to be with me for you because you said you changed. I don't see it. I have to see something concrete in the next few weeks, or I'm out for good. Okay. I know you can smile when you say it. It'll sound a little bit nicer, but that's the bottom line. Okay. Okay. Nadia, this is a little bit off the subject of the ex is coming back, but Nadia is writing a good question. I'm going to answer it because it's a big one. When meeting new people, going on dates, how soon should you mention that you want marriage and children in the future? I don't want to scare them off, but I also want this to, she probably means work. I'm very firm about this. I would put it in my profile. I don't care if they're scared off. You know who's going to be scared off? Somebody who doesn't want that. Ladies, the only success you're going to have is with a man that knows that he wants to start a family now and he wants to be married. There are cases of men who back into it slowly, but it is so much more torturous for you. Why do you want someone who doesn't want what you want? It makes your job so much harder. You know, it's so easy that it's hard. It's so easy. Start with people who want what you want, and they want it with you. Period. If you got to say my little sentence over and over again, it's a Susanism, it will guide you straight every time. You should not be working to try to get them to see the value of your position. So, you asked a very logical question. I'd write in your profile and I'd state to people, look, I'm looking for a meaningful partnership. My end goal is marriage and a family. And you may get one date out of them. I tell them from the very get-go, only for one reason. I know you think you're scaring off people that are afraid of it, but do you really have a year or two to figure out whether the person that you fall in love with, start seeing and call your partner, is then going to come back to you and say, yeah, I thought I could do it, but I really can't. It's just so much easier to filter from the beginning, but that's just my belief. Okay. Oh, Matt, because sweetie, I've already answered yours, so I'm going to go. Okay. Kay Arios says, my ex saw someone die. Hang on here. Everybody's expressing their sympathy to her. Should I do the same and break 3 months no contact? She is the dumper. Hang on here. I don't want to lose you. Oh, where did I lose you? I lost you because it was jumping here. Oh my goodness. Hang on. Bear with me, guys. Susie's guys. You got a lot of comments here. Okay. I lost this someplace. I'm so sorry. I lost this. If you've had 3 months of no contact, then there was a reason that you did that. So what was your reason for going no contact? She was the dumper, right? Was it because you felt it was unhealthy for you to be in contact with her? Was it because the thought of reconnecting with her hurt you because you would be pushed away? I know that she saw someone die. I'm terribly sorry. I don't think this is the same as if her family member died. Seeing someone die is horrible. I would only override a no contact protocol in your case, from what I've gleaned from this, if her mother, father, sister, brother, or child died. Then you come in as a human being and say, I heard that your mother died. I am so sorry. Period. Nothing more. Okay, let's see. You guys are writing me so many great questions. Oh my goodness, there's so many pages here. Hi from Kansas. Hi, Tony. Hi from Australia. How do I highlight I don't know how to do this. Okay. My ex with her rebound for over a year, and all her social media seems like she was on cloud nine and forgot about me. What do I do, coach? My ex with her rebound for over a year. Sweetie, a rebound is kind of short lived. It's not a year. I think you should move on. So here's the one thing that I want you all to do. And so I'm going to wrap it up pretty quickly now. So here's the rule of the road. If contacting them opens up a can of worms for you and you think it's going to be unhealthy or lead you to a place that's going to cause you ultimately more pain, then don't. If you feel that you can afford the contact and you are genuinely worried about them, send a text message to say, I'm contacting all the people that I care for and have cared for. I just wish you safety and health, period. Okay? So be diplomatic. We can care as a human being. What we want to do is disconnect the part of ourselves that is hoping or waiting for something that's never going to happen. And for all of you who may be tempted to contact your ex because you're hoping that this is an excuse to do so, if you in your heart of hearts feel that you can withstand their rejection or their lack of response, then try it. If you think it won't lead you to a negative place where you'll just reconnect to the painful feelings of yearning. But for the most of you, I want you to understand that the most powerful position you can ever have is, I love you, but I'm leaving you. And I describe this to my guys. It's like the Rhett Butler thing. You know, you can love someone if you can come to the point. If we can do this, okay, with all this information, that I can get you guys to the point of saying, I love you, but I'm not having this. And you walk. That means I do love you, but I won't suffer for you because I'm not going to be in this alone. Okay? So that position is so powerful. One, you're speaking your truth. Two, you gave them a chance. Three, you called it, and you're not putting up with nonsense. I have a video, and I don't know, have I released it to you, the difference between being a patient and a pushover. And I can't remember if I put it out yet or I haven't, but if I have put it out, that's the title. And if it's coming out, then I've got a collection of all these things. But remember, this is a time for discernment. In your self-analysis, discern. And I urge all of you, there is no calling them back into your life by you being on the floor as a mess, sobbing and weeping. That weak, defeated position will never call an ex back into your life. And staying frozen doesn't call them back into your life. There's only one possibility of reconnecting with them again. And it is to do something counterintuitive. That is to move forward, advance as a human being, leave the part of you that was there, that they knew, that didn't work for them, move forward and have open auditions. They're invited. I'm having open auditions for my next future partner. They have to be this, 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 and this. All of you who qualify, kind of like triple threats. You've got to sing, you've got to dance, you've got to act, right? You're having open call auditions, and you see your ex walks on the stage and says, okay, what do you have to show me? Okay, so that's taking your power back, and that's being clearly focused. Listen, I adore that you have all come online here. Oh my goodness, I've had such a fantastic response. I'm going to be doing this every week, okay? And I have a new topic for next week. I want to talk about the pain of isolation, all right? But just know that when we're done on the other side of this quarantine, I'm starting an entire series with these live events on the unbelievable collection of bad behaviors that people have and how to handle it, from ghosting to haunting to breadcrumbing to orbiting and everything else. I adore all of you. If you want to speak to me privately, please do so. Check out susanwinter.net. Look at my consultation page. I thank you for supporting my work, for coming to this channel, for being so gracious and so good and so loving to each other. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Know that I will be back again next week at the same time. I adore all of you. Believe me, I read these things, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Stay healthy, stay well, The greatest act of loving yourself is discerning who you let into your life. And we should always be treated with the same respect and love that we give somebody else. Okay? And if you're having trouble sorting it out, I'll help you. Thank you so much, everybody. I adore you. Be safe. Take care now. Bye-bye.